Let's be honest, we've all been there, right? Clicking through some mandatory corporate training, kind of wondering, what is this all for? Well, today, we're going to crack open the playbook and reveal the hidden strategy, the design, and all the tech behind the compliance programs that really shape how a company operates. You know the drill. That annual course on data privacy or workplace conduct pops up in your inbox. We all click next, but have you ever actually stopped to think about the massive architecture behind that one module? What's the real game plan here? Who decides what you need to learn? And, the most important question, does any of it actually work? Well, we are about to find out. So, here's our roadmap. We've broken down this playbook into 5 key chapters. First, we're going to start with the strategic foundation, the why behind it all. Then, we'll get into the core curriculum that pretty much everyone has to take. After that, we'll dive into the specialized training for specific risks, pull back the curtain on the engine that powers the whole thing, and finally, we'll tackle the biggest challenge of all. How do you make the training actually stick? All right, first up, the foundation. You see, without a really solid strategy, compliance training just becomes this random check-the-box exercise. It's a waste of time, a waste of resources. The programs that really work, the ones that actually protect a company and its reputation, are built with a super clear purpose right from the very beginning. This whole process is very deliberate. It all kicks off by analyzing a company's unique risks, and that analysis shapes the entire strategy. But look at that third step. That is absolutely critical, leadership buy-in. If the execs don't visibly champion this stuff, then nobody's going to take it seriously. It just feels like a chore. That tone from the top, as they call it, is everything. And finally, you need clear governance to basically set the rules of the road and keep the whole program on track. So, with that strategy locked in, we can move on to Chapter 2, the core curriculum. This is the foundational knowledge that every single employee, from the CEO all the way down, is expected to know and master. The curriculum is really split into 2 big buckets. Over on the left, you've got the universal training. This is the baseline stuff, like new hire onboarding and those annual refreshers that everyone gets. Then, on the right, you have role-based training. This is more targeted content for employees in specific, higher-risk jobs. Let's start by looking at what's in that universal bucket. These 4 topics really form the ethical backbone of most organizations. The code of conduct, that's the company's North Star. Anti-bribery training is just crucial for any company operating globally, especially if they want to avoid massive fines. Harassment prevention is key to a healthy and productive culture. And, of course, in today's digital world, data privacy is completely non-negotiable for anyone who handles sensitive info. These aren't optional. They're the absolute baseline for doing business responsibly. But here's the thing. That universal training isn't enough to cover every single risk. And that brings us to Chapter 3, targeted training. This is where the program gets really smart, delivering specialized content to the employees in those high-risk roles. This is all about matching the training to the specific risk. Your finance teams, they're going to get deep dives on preventing insider trading, while almost everyone gets phishing simulations. The IT department, they're going to get a much, much tougher version. Factory workers need that critical OSHA safety training. And yes, even the leaders get their own compliance modules, because their decisions carry a unique weight. It's all about delivering the right information to the people who need it most. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get into the how. Chapter 4 is all about the operational engine that powers this whole complex training machine. At the heart of it all is this thing, the Learning Management System, or LMS. Just think of it as the company's digital schoolhouse. It's the central hub where all the training courses live, it's how managers assign modules to their teams, and it's how the company tracks who's actually completed what. It's basically mission control for the entire program. But an LMS is way more than just a library. It's an engine for accountability. It tracks every single completion and attestation. That's your digital signature saying, I did this. All that data feeds into dashboards for leadership, and that's how they prove to regulators and auditors that the company is taking this stuff seriously. From managing complex certifications to just surviving an audit, the LMS is the operational backbone. But here's the billion-dollar question, right? You can have the best strategy and the slickest system in the world, but how do you make any of it actually stick? Chapter 5 is all about making that leap from just checking a box to building a genuine culture of integrity. The days of the boring, 1-hour, one-size-fits-all annual slideshow, well, they're numbered. Companies are finally realizing that for learning to have any real impact, it has to be continuous and it has to be engaging. The focus is shifting from just getting it done to actually retaining the information and applying it on the job. And this is where it gets really creative. Gamification uses things like points and leaderboards to make learning competitive and fun. Microlearning delivers content in these short 3 to 5 minute bursts that are perfect for a mobile workforce. Ongoing communication campaigns keep these ideas top of mind. And most importantly, companies are now really focused on measuring actual effectiveness, not just ticking a completion box. It's all about making compliance a habit, not just a yearly event. Ultimately, this is the big takeaway. All of these different pieces, the strategy, the content, the tech, the creative techniques, they all serve one primary purpose: to influence behavior. The goal isn't to create experts who can just recite a policy. It's about empowering employees to make the right decision when they're faced with a real-world ethical dilemma. So what's the real lesson from this playbook? It's that the work is never really done. Risks change, new regulations come out, the business grows. This process of analyzing, training, and reinforcing is a continuous cycle. It's this constant effort to keep an entire organization on the right path. Which really leaves you with one final question to think about. In a world that's always changing, can the work of compliance ever truly be finished?